Effet secondaire, c'est le deuxième module qui a été créé par CD Projekt Red. Il est sorti le 16 septembre 2008, en même temps que la Enhanced Edition, le patch 1.4. Elle apporte 200 nouvelles animations, davantage de modèles et recoloration pour les NPC et pour les monstres. Elle est aussi plus stable avec des temps de chargement réduits et la possibilité de jouer avec des sous-titres différents de la langue de l'audio. C'est pour ça que j'arrive à avoir le jeu en langue anglaise, mais quand même les sous-titres en français.
Et en difficile.
What happened later? Another story, Master Dandelion.
Please, tell us more of the Witcher.
Of his return to the Witcher's fortress at the world's end where his brethren awaited. Sing on, dear minstrel.
Why don't one of you fetch a tankard full of mead for our bard, something to soothe his throat? For 'tis Dandelion whose ballads all go straight for the heart. Stop chattering like sparrows, still yourselves and listen.
This evening I'll recount a tale none before have ever heard. Yours truly had his part. One might say I played a key role. Our tale takes us to Vizima, 1 year after the Witcher's famed taming of the Striga. A certain alderman, an enemy of poetry and a stranger to all concepts of love, I might add, had me cast in jail and insisted I be hanged. You see, his wife, a captivating, considerably younger creature, had succumbed to my charm. In my hour of need, as I rotted in my cell, who should appear, if not the Witcher Geralt himself?
Alors un an après la Strige, ça placerait l'histoire en 1254, mais...
Gentlemen, I haven't the faintest notion what this is about. I am Master Dandelion, the most esteemed poet in this land, and I insist I am completely innocent.
Shut up, Dandelion. And you, cease your insistence, Counselor. I've been clear. The suspect will remain in custody pending the conclusion of our investigation.
I'm astounded at your obstinacy, Captain. My poor Siegfrieda wails day and night asking when this knave will finally be punished. As an alderman, I must demand...
This is the city jail, not a town council meeting. Now, you'll have to excuse me. Duty demands that I take my leave.
I need to speak to the prisoner.
Dandelion, be my guest. But keep your hands where I can see him, and the conversation short.
Geralt, am I ever glad to see you. How did you find me?
News travels fast. What did you do this time? I mean, people don't get arrested for busking.
The accusations are pure slander.
I don't doubt that. Of all the men who have ever been in here, not one has been guilty.
Just once you could give me the benefit of the doubt? I admit I spent a few positively enchanting hours with that airy spirit.
And the alderman walked in to see.
Well, I still had my cap on. But I ask you, where's the crime? And to demand my head? Come now, must we take ourselves so seriously?
You've outdone yourself this time, Dandelion. That alderman would personally strangle you if he could.
Dandelion, the butcher's boy came to say you ordered sirloin steak and chicken livers.
My dear Captain, please don't tell me you thought prison gruel would satisfy me.
Don't overdo it, Dandelion. This was not our deal. That 2,000 orens guarantees you won't hang too quickly. I don't remember talking about luxury accommodations.
2,000 orens? Are you out of your mind, Dandelion?
No need to get riled. I've got it all figured out. The good captain will make sure the alderman doesn't get his way. I'll spend a few days in here, finally get some sleep, let the alderman cool down, and it'll all blow over.
Sounds beautiful. But care to tell me how you got your hands on 2,000 orens?
That, my dear Witcher, is strictly for me to know. Why can't you just trust me, Geralt? All right. If you must know, I borrowed the money from a very trustworthy individual and aim to pay it back as soon as I'm released.
I hope you didn't do anything stupid, though I suspect you might have.
Ah bon? Et c'est bon, il est libre là?
I long for the day when I find you not in trouble and in a position to help me for a change.
Not my fault this time. I had a really tight plan. See, the alderman is dripping with gold, and he's given his wife full title to all of his, assets.
Dandelion, I really don't feel like listening to how you were going to fleece some married woman.
This from someone who does so well with the fairer sex. Not to pry, but how's Yennefer?
I don't want to talk about it.
Oh, I think I hit a soft spot, ruffled this turkey's feathers. All right, I'm sorry.
Oui, à l'époque, ils sont un peu en froid avec Yennefer. C'est compliqué, c'est compliqué.
What are Dandelion's chances?
Don't you worry. The alderman wanted him to hang, but Dandelion knew who to come to. So he'll be released in a few days. For lack of evidence.
Mr. Glover wants to see you soon as possible. I'd advise you to comply if you want to help your friend Dandelion avoid some serious trouble.
Mr. Blubber?
Been away from Vizima for a while, I see. Mr. Glover rules the town. When he tells you to jump, make sure to ask how high. Understand?
Temple de Meliten, c'était pas le temple de Lebioda à l'époque.
Hangover?
I drank almost an entire demi-john on a bet. The damned innkeeper dared me. Oh, so I paid the 30 orens and passed out with just one shot left.
Clever guy, that innkeeper.
Yeah, charged me for cleaning too, as I couldn't hold it down. Oh, feels like a goat kicked me in the head. Oh, I'd give the world for a tankard of buttermilk. Hey, bring me some and I'll show you something.
Whoa, not here, please.
Stop yelling! I know of a treasure.
Dehors les rivières. La toute première histoire dans laquelle on trouve Geralt, quand il arrive à Vizima, il va au Vieux Renard, et là il se fait agripper par des racistes. Le Rivien dégage et tout. Parce que justement, avec son accent qui vient de Rive, il se fait repérer un peu. Jérémie à l'embrouille.
I'm looking for work.
Well, look somewhere else.
Who are you?
I work for Mr. Glover. Familiar with that name? Though soon enough, everyone in this town will know Jeremiah Trick, too.
If you want to be someone, I'd pick an alias. Something people would remember. Jeremiah Trick sounds like something you sweep under the rug.
Fuck off.
C'est lui le futur boucanier. Et du coup, il s'appelait Jeremiah Trick. La référence, c'est Jeremias Baranski, qui est un parrain de la mafia polonais. Et il s'appelle effectivement Jeremiah en vrai.
The circus is across town, freak.
I know. They're missing a clown. Sent me looking. You him?
Let me slap that stupid smile off your face. Put up 25 orens and let's get it over with.
Vraiment, mais rap contenders ici. Hein.
I think I'll take you up on that.
Fight! I got KO!
That's two less teeth.
Don't worry. You look nice.
Hocus pocus, focus on this. Your mother stands when she wants to piss.
What? KO! Geralt wins.
Ugh. You're no stranger to fighting.
My mother taught me. What would you say about her now?
Nice lady. Here's your prize.
Grizzle's my name. I fight better than all these pussies put together.
I wager I can take any of these pussies one-handed, you included.
Are you being
Fuck it
smart?
right in the pussy.
Final round. Fight! Perfect! Geralt wins.
Take your coin and shove off. I hate this day.
We all have good ones and bad ones.
You know, Witcher, you're all right. Listen, me grandma gave me some nice thick buttermilk. Good for the bones, she says. Care for some white-haired one?
I've got some buttermilk. Drink up.
Ah, my saviour. That was delicious. So, it's time I was on my way.
The treasure? Spit it out.
Oh, yeah, right. Well, you see, years ago, I was a very promising student of magic. Tremendous potential. Truly tremendous. Yet fate played tricks, and a certain propensity of mine prevented me from completing my internship and duly mastering the art. Yet I sensed certain forces. Nearby lies a warehouse with mages once stored their artifacts. Though it stands almost empty, it emanates.
Bonjour, monsieur. Hey!
Care to tell me what happened? I'm a witcher. Maybe I can help.
Truly? I can't believe my luck. You see, several days ago, I won an old house. At first, I was overjoyed. That is, until I had a strange dream. They say the house is haunted, and I feel it will bring me ill luck. I know it all sounds ridiculous, but on another occasion, I won a man's wife.
Some guy bet his wife? Bold.
The mayor, actually. But I handled it well and promptly lost her to another man. But what of my house?
Well, if it is infested, I can probably clear out any visitors. You could then sell it off with a Witcher's guarantee.
Splendid! But you must do one thing before I give you the key. You see, a soothsayer recently told me I would be stripped of troubles by one who brought me a turquoise ring.
All right, if you say so. I'll bring you a ring if I find one.
Et gagner tout ce que je peux. Oh yes! Oh yes! C'est le carré!
You're quite a player, Witcher. Though I must admit I find you distracting as well. It's finally happened. I've been stripped clean of coin.
Care to wager something else?
Sorry, but I'm not in the habit of mixing business with pleasure. I do have an offer, though. I shall reveal to you a certain mystery, provided you likewise fleece 2 other players I know. Good players.
I can do that.
Why did I know you'd agree? Very well, you must beat Orrel and Gunn. Once you have, return to me and I shall tell you something.
Sergeant Orrel at your service. Met a sewer rat who claimed you completely fleeced poor Milka. Glad to hear someone put the lass in her place.
I met a sewer rat who claimed you're not a bad player yourself.
What? Mais encore?
Lost my entire soldier's pay. What'll I drink now?
We drink to riches until we have them no more, so says a certain dwarf I know. Plan to stay in Vizima for a while?
Get it? There's a war brewing with Nilfgaard, mark my words. They'll be crying out for mercenaries again and I'll lead them south to the border.
You think the Black Ones will rise after the beating we gave them at Sodden?
Et c'est là qu'on a la preuve qu'on est bien après 1263 et avant la deuxième guerre du Nilfgaard. Sauf que l'année 67 elle est très chargée, donc je pencherai plus pour 1264. La bataille du Mont Sodden elle est restée célèbre. Il y a eu en tout 100 000 soldats, dont 30 000 morts/blessés. Ça a été la victoire des armées du Nord commandée par Vizimir II, le roi de Redania. Sur le Mont Sodden lui-même, il y a eu 22 mages nordiques, dont 14 ont trouvé la mort officiellement. Leurs noms sont même inscrits sur un obélisque sur le mont. Et on disait 14 parce que on n'avait pas réussi à identifier Triss, elle était blessée, mais finalement elle n'est pas morte. Elle a chopé le surnom de la 14e du mont. Chaque Beltane, le 30 avril, il y a des feux qui sont allumés pour commémorer les mages qui sont sacrifiés. C'était la seconde bataille de Sodden parce que la première, elle avait été gagnée par Nilfgaard, qui ensuite avait pu progresser à Sintra, etc.
And let me tell you, friend, it all began with that shipment of rotten cabbage. The whole city started shitting its guts out. That and all manner of syphilitic scum began multiplying in the sewers. But we shut all the entrances and the streets are safe. Yeah.
Nice solution, cheap and easy. As it happens, I'm a witcher and I wouldn't mind taking a closer look at that scum.
Oh, you would you? Oh, it's no concern of mine. Matter of fact, I'm not much bothered, except if something guts you, it'll be my head. Well, how do I know you to be a witcher? How do I know you'll emerge unscathed?
I can prove it.
Very well. I hear witches are damned incredible heavyweights. If you can drink me under the table, I'll believe you to be a witcher and give you the keys to the sewers.
I think I've proven myself. Give me the key.
Know what? I haven't met anyone who'd suit me in conversation as much as you have any time in the recent past. It almost feels like we're brothers. Because you see, I come from the family of the famous traveller, Bivard Backhuizen.
Sergeant, the key.
Geralt, call me Orrel. We drank together, which makes you my mate. So this ancestor of mine, the traveller, what adventurer really, he kept a journal. It's nothing short of an antique now. It's been in the family for generations.
I've heard of Backhuizen. Didn't he discover the Swallow's Tower?
Oh, that's him. Geralt, I suddenly feel a terrible longing. Take the journal, my one and only friend. And the key to the sewers. Come here, give us a kiss.
Maybe some other time.
Buvid Bakissen est surtout connu pour son livre Pérégrination sur les chemins et sites de la magie. L'extrait qu'on a ici, avec Saint-Loc et les 100 lacs, c'est le même, quoiqu'un peu traduit différemment, qu'on a dans un interchapitre du tome 6, La Tour de l'Hirondelle. D'ailleurs, ce livre est à prendre avec des pincettes parce que on peut lire dans l'Ars Magica, édition 14, ce livre n'est qu'une mystification du début à la fin. Les ruines près du lac Tarnmira ont été sondées à plusieurs reprises. Contrairement aux énonciations de B. Bakuisen, elles ne sont pas magiques, il est donc impossible qu'elles constituent les restes de la légendaire Tour de l'Hirondelle. Et cet ouvrage il a été très important pour Ciri, alors qu'elle était avec Visogotha de Corvo, au fin fond des marais. Le vieux savant lui a fourni ce livre, et ça lui a permis de savoir où se trouve la Tour de l'Hirondelle. Visogotha de Corvo nous dit que cette contrée s'appelle aujourd'hui Miltrashta, c'est une région qu'on peut trouver au nord de la province de Metina, près de la frontière avec Nazaire et Magturga, et qui est traversée par la rivière Yelena. Il s'agit de l'elfe Avalar qui servait de guide à Buivid Bakisen. D'après Ciri, il écrivait bizarrement ce Buivid, et il parle d'Asengard, qui est une ancienne cité aujourd'hui disparue.
I'm told you're no a bad dice player. Fancy a game?
Ouais. Et hop, get wrecked. C'est tout?
Oh shit. Here we go again.
Après, s'il a pas de 6 là, putain. Pas de 6.
I stripped Oral and Gun of all their coin.
Bravo! They must be livid, I wager. Though it's a shame they'll have nothing left to lose to me.
You were going to tell me a secret.
Big fish are hard to come by in the Temple Quarter. But I happen to know a place where rich burghers from the Trade Quarter convene secretly to cast a few hands.
And they're ripe for plucking? I like the sound of that.
J'ai jamais fini en fait, hein. Le lieu du vice. Ah, c'est d'ici. C'est la baraque où il y a les réfugiés. Il y a des gamers par ici? L'entrepôt du forgeron, avant que ça devienne les quartiers de l'Ordre de la Rose Ardente.
How is life in Vizima?
Non-humans hardly have an easy time of it. My friend Gunn has a smithy, but the city guards incessantly threaten that they'll move him to worse quarters, as they need his workshop for an armorer, a human.
It almost sounds like they're creating a ghetto. Somehow I doubt non-humans will let themselves be relocated to a worse part of town.
I fear you are wrong, Witcher. Though actions of that nature are likely to escalate tensions between the races. I know a certain elf, his name is Yavin. Given the resources, he would jump at the chance of leading the non-humans in an uprising.
Well, I hope that doesn't happen.
And if it were to happen, who would you side with? Intolerant humans or intolerated non-humans?
Ouh là là.
Humans see me as a mutant. I'd be inclined to support the insurgents.
Think through this. There may come a time when you'll be forced to make a choice.
Clin d'œil. L'Ordre de la Rose Ardente, il a été fondé en 1268. Là, on est loin de tout ça, là. Le manoir d'Everden. C'est là le fameux cloître de l'Ordre de la Rose Ardente. Le mec, il a des statues anti-pose. Rinde en Redania, c'est là que se passe la nouvelle du dernier vœu.
Well, the craft interests me, as do history and the secret sciences. If you happen upon any monster parts, I will gladly purchase them from you.
I'll remember that. Everden, I found this strange stone. Don't know quite what to make of it.
Let me see. Witcher, you have found one of the 10 Sephiroth, magic-imbued stones fashioned by the gnomes, the eldest of the sentient races. I believe this is the Tipperath.
Gnomes are pretty good at working metal. I'd really love to have one of their Gwihir swords, supposed to be the best in the world.
Et puis la Sephiroth, ça, bah, c'est une des 10 qu'on devra chercher dans The Witcher en 1270.
You're huge and ugly.
I'm a priestess of Melitele, who studied under Mother Superior Neneka at the temple in Ilanda. I know no one who would be a better herbalist than the Mother Superior.
I've been to the temple in Ilander many times, and I know Neneka. I owe her. Neneka treated me after a certain Striga plowed a ditch in my neck.
En 1253.
Anytime soon, be sure to give her the regards of Nurka.
Il la considère presque un peu comme sa mère.
I noticed a vast burned-out ditch behind the temple.
A small hut stood on the site a few weeks ago. The workshop of a young and highly energetic alchemist. He had nowhere to go, so I allowed him to set up in the hut.
Don't see any hut now.
One day I heard a loud explosion, or perhaps implosion, I can never tell the difference. I suppose one of his experiments went wrong. Now I pray Melitele will take pity on his soul.
Le trou qui est derrière l'église, en fait, c'est dû à ça. Et hop, on va se battre.
I want to fight.
Very well. To reach the final, you've got to beat Lizard and Wrymouth. You survive them, you go on to fight the Rivian, our current champ.
Fight!
Dégage de là! Il va s'en prendre une, lui!
Gold win.
Your 150 orens and the entrance fee.
Fight!
Gold accepted your
win.
challenge. 225 orens and you buy yourself in.
Witcher, heard you're having problems with Glover. You help me, and I'll help you. You see, I have to win this fight. Ralph promised to release me if I do.
Ah! Il a lâché un Rinnegan, le gars.
I guess I think a countryman's freedom is pretty important. All right. What do you want me to do?
I knew I could count on you. Drop your guard to show me where you want to get hit. I'll try to go easy.
Final round. KO. Game over.
You and I, we're brothers. Look for Rivians if you ever need a hand.
Watching the door, Fleaball? Easy there, Smokey. If you're out here, must be something worth stealing inside. You look like you could use a juicy bone.
I owe you my freedom, Witcher. Can't forget that.
Ah, cool.
Mr. Glover awaits downstairs. Just watch out for the wyverns. They're in a bad mood today.
What wyverns? No matter, I'll see for myself.
Well, well, so the Witcher deigns to come and see me after all.
Your man stopped me in the street.
I wonder, what are the chances of surviving a fight against two ravenous wyverns?
Depends who's fighting.
Someone not entirely familiar with a sword, an artist, let's say a minstrel.
So how much does Dandelion owe you?
An even 2,000, and I know he aims to flee the city the moment they release him from jail. He foolishly believes he can outsmart Mr. Glover. My men have asked around. We know he's broke as a newborn beggar. To make matters worse, none in this city are willing to lend to him. I've no gripe with you, Witcher, but frankly, you may be his only chance.
If Dandelion doesn't pay his debt, I will.
More reasonable than I thought. Get the coin, quick, plain and simple. I hate to pressure you, but the city jail can be a depressing place. Heard a prisoner recently hung himself by his own bootlaces.
It needn't get that depressing for Dandelion. You have a deal. I'll pay his debt. Call it a side effect of having friends.
C'est ça le side effect.
About that debt.
Got the money already?
2,000. Take it.
2,000? When Dandelion came by whining for a loan, I clearly remember mentioning it would cost him. I've waited a swiving long time for my money, so sorry, but you'll have to pay me interest.
What the fuck's your problem?
1,000 orins. Watch what you say, Witcher. You're stomping on mighty thin ice, and I'm underneath waiting for it to crack.
You get in my face with that, I'll beat your goddamn ass, you son of a bitch. You piece of shit.
Since you put it that way, I'd like some time to think it over.
Fine. Just remember, patience isn't my strongest suit. You wouldn't want Dandelion to have an unfortunate accident, would you?
J'aurais demandé au Rivien de m'aider contre Glover.
I sense a rumble about to happen. You weren't about to settle your score with Glover without us, were you?
Good to see you. And good to see you brought a few boys.
We Rivians stick together. Let's go see Glover.
Great. Glover's at his house. Shouldn't keep him waiting.
Oh bordel!
Gun Hargus, leader of the Band of Brethren. Me and my friends, well, Glover's no friend of ours. In truth, we're irked the twerp thinks he rules these streets.
Geralt of Rivia, Witcher. Got an offer for me?
Let's say we wouldn't mind seeing Glover humbled. We, as the Band of Brethren, hold something of value, a treasure we're willing to entrust to you, should you prove worthy of our trust.
Well, it sounds a bit complicated, but I'm in no position to turn you down. How do I prove myself worthy?
You need to visit us each in turn. You'll find Grifferin and Gruzel at the tavern, while Navik should be loitering by the cemetery gate. Once you've finished with them, come see me at my smithy. I too will want to test the metal from which you were forged.
This treasure sounds mysterious.
The Band of Brethren once were 5. The 4 you know of and Kuna. Toward the end of the war, we were down and broke, and to be blunt, we started ambushing all manner of merchants, mercilessly stripping them of their lot. During one such attack, we robbed a peddler of a strange stone. Kuna, who knew a thing or two, claimed it was magic. He chanted a bit and produced a glowing portal. He believed that we'd find an elven treasure on the other side. The Long-Ear supposedly concealed their valuables in nooks accessed only through portals. Driven by belief, bravery, and probably a bit of greed, Kuna stepped through and never came back.
And you want me to have this stone? Sounds more dangerous than enticing.
You're a witcher, while Kuna was but a scribe who joined the army for adventure. If something does indeed lurk on the other side, I don't doubt you'll manage. And if you find nothing but Kuna and his treasure, we'll take the treasure and bring us our boy. He's got some explaining to do.
All right. I'll see you soon then. So what exactly is this band of brethren?
We served in one unit during the war. Me, Gunn, my brother Grusil, Narvik and Kuna, may he rest in peace. Whenever I looked around, we were all there alongside each other.
What made you turn civilian?
There's only so much horror a man can see and stay sane. We'd had enough of the warring and pillaging, decided to find some way to earn an honest living, settle down somewhere, you know.
Why'd you choose Vizima?
We drew straws. The other options were Oxenfurt, Maribor and Sintra.
Gunn sent me.
So he decided to track you down after all. Mighty happy about that, Witcher, believe you me. Glover is one son of a bitch who deserves to have his ears boxed, and that's always easier in a group.
Yeah, Gunn also mentioned some treasure.
Right indeed. It just might be enough to pay off your friend's debt. But that's enough prattling. There's customs need to be observed. To gain the trust of the band of brethren, you have to defeat each of us in a duel. Bottles and tankards are my weapons of choice.
So, last man standing.
Yeah, and that's usually Grifferin. Oh, not good. I'm seeing trouble. Witcher, you're a good man. A good man.
I win. Now if I can just make it to that bench. You're quite a heavyweight.
All that drinking's made me hungry. Ooh, a cold roast would hit the spot. You care for some?
Sachant que les sorceleurs, ils sont immunisés à la plupart des toxines et des poisons, et ça implique aussi une plus grande résistance à l'alcool. Tu vois le SDF à côté? Eh ben je vais te donner le délicieux ragoût au chien.
Now will you let me inside?
Good boy. Oh, une bague en turquoise. Ça, je vais pouvoir la donner à Milka, et du pognon sa mère.
Still interested in that turquoise ring?
Oh, beautiful. Thank you. Here's the key. But remember, it's bad luck to enter the house on odd-numbered days. Or is it even-numbered?
Tout ce que je trouve dans la maison de Milka, très bien. Ah, c'est la future maison de Talar. Et donc les rivières là qui sont rentrés hier déjà chez Glover, ils sont en train de patienter, ils prennent le thé là. Pendentif de Laradoran, oh c'est bon ça, l'ancêtre de Ciri.
Wonderful. A fine piece of work. Laura Doran ep Sheardal in profile. Do you know about her? Quite an unusual tale. Her romance with a human might have changed the fate of both humans and elves.
Yeah, pretty sad story. Instead of uniting the races, it widened the rift between them. Though Laura met her death at the hands of humans, her elven brethren were the first to deliver a blow, condemning her for loving Creganen.
Laradoran Aep Sheardal était une sorcière elfe, membre du cercle de l'élite des Aen Severn, ceux qui savent, ou les érudits, comme les appellent parfois les humains. Elle était l'héritière d'une lignée particulièrement forte d'Aen Iker, ou, dans votre langue, de sang ancien, et devait donc épouser un elfe choisi méticuleusement pour porter son enfant, un enfant qui aurait le pouvoir de contrôler les portes du temps et sauver les nôtres du froid blanc. Bien que les deux parents soient morts, lui des mains de quelqu'un de votre race, elle de froid et d'épuisement en fuyant ses poursuivants, l'enfant survécut et devint le premier d'une longue lignée dont l'héritière n'est nulle autre que Cyrilla Fiona Hélène Rhiannon de Sintra. Ça c'est Avalar qui nous dit ça.
Listen, I'm looking for herbs. Anything growing in the cemetery?
Well, there's Bryonia, celandine, verbena, and fool's parsley. Remember to pick the Bryonia in daytime. It's liable to be overly moist if picked at night on account of the dew.
I guess you know your herbs.
Grasses, weeds, you know. Some varieties can be good for certain ailments.
Gunn told me to see you.
Gunn does have some inane ideas, but what can I do, seeing he's my former commander? All right, young man, try to beat me at dice. Let's see what you've got up your sleeve.
A few moments later.
Make sure to tell Gunn I won. Though how that makes me trustworthy, I'll never know.
Oh, I will. Listen, I had this cane I found once on a thief's corpse. Looked to me like a sorcerer's staff. Maybe you can sell it off to someone, generate some more coin to help out your friend Dandelion.
It cannot be. A bent handle, acacia wood. This is clearly the staff of Jan Becker, the first human to tame the power.
Everton, not to spoil your day, but Becker arrived by boat with the first exiles, and that was a while back. I mean, he was the one to actually harness the natural elements and train the first mages. You know how long ago that was? Were you at Sodden?
They call it a great victory, the place where we broke the Black One's back. But take it from me, gun hardest. Before 10 years are up, the Black Ones will once again cross the Yaruga and serve us up an even bigger melee.
Dans 3 ans, c'est la même, les gars.
So, I beat all your friends at their games. Though how that proves I can be trusted, I'll never know.
Aye, they all seem to think you're all right. One challenge remains, a classic duel with swords until one of us yields.
You don't stand a chance, Gun. I'm a witcher.
I've always wanted to see one of your kind in action. Come on now, let's see that razor of yours.
I don't think you have any idea how fast I'm here. Fast as fuck, boy.
If I could bend and spin like you, the half pirouettes, feints, lunges, pure poetry.
Vesemir's training at Kaer Morhen.
Not a one out there can match a witcher for speed, that's certain. But let's get back to what's important, that treasure.
Le mec n'est plus qu'un bout de viande sanguinolent.
Listen, Gun. I gotta admit I've grown to like you and your company. Let's say we'll split what I find on the other side.
Ah, nonsense. It's our wish as the band of brethren to help you, and that's that. You keep it all.
All right then. Let me hear it.
Take this stone. They say it's magic. In the cemetery, you'll find a place of power. With this stone in hand, you'll be able to pass through it, like through a portal.
Aha.
Ah, Ouroboros. The serpent swallowing its own tail, the symbol of death and rebirth, fate and infinity. It reminds us that each time something ends, something else begins.
Thanks. The Snake of Fortune. It looks like its coils could throttle all those who stray off their path.
Baston!
I'd like to introduce you to some friends.
Well, I don't want to meet your swiving friends, and I don't remember sending out invitations to a party, so turn your ugly mugs around and...
Actually, I was hoping to test our relative killing abilities.
Oh, kill these fucks!
Let's go, l'équipe de Rive! Attends, ça, j'ai mon épée de sorceleur, je m'en occupe. Genre là, elles viennent pas me chercher. Par contre, moi...
This big brain time.
Alors, petit à petit, regardez comment l'oiseau fait son nid. Où tu vas, putain? Où tu vas? Gérald!
Now you.
Mr. Glover. You motherfucker! Eh ben les voilà les 2001.
I resolved matters with Glover. We need to leave the city pretty quickly.
That's a load off my back, let me tell you. Thanks, Geralt. To be honest, I was not looking forward to expiring in a pool of my own blood down some dark alley.
Later, Dandelion. Put it in a ballad. Now grab your shit and let's get out of town. Actually, we'll hit a bathhouse first. You stink something awful.
Vizima seemed a hostile shore, so we left the city and roamed the land. Jeremiah Trick, known also as Ramsmeat, stepped into Glover's boots. With no interest in wyverns, he turned Glover's pets into steak and began trading in Fistek to support a robust appetite. But that is another story.
Et ça, on peut davantage la considérer comme la fin canon, parce que dans le Vizima des années 1270, c'est le boucanier qui est dans la place.
I can agree to this only on condition that this is where the dead ends.
Fine by me. 1,000 orens and the two of you slither out of Vizima.
The next day... I have the 1,000 orens. That makes us even.
So be it. Now get out of my town.
With pleasure.
Geralt, nice of you to visit a dear friend in need.
I resolved matters with Glover. We need to leave the city pretty quickly.
Vizima now seemed a hostile shore, so we left the city and roamed the land. We later learned of Glover's untimely passing. His wyverns had turned on him, so death was, alas, swift. No one mourned him. No one.
Ah! Bisous!